Hey guys, welcome back. This is Storm and welcome to episode 143 of our single player Tiveden world. Hope you guys are going awesomely well. So you might be wondering, you liar, you said you weren't going to work in the jungle biome and yet here we are. But don't worry, we won't be working in this area in this episode, but I did want to go and show you guys a little sneak peek of this path design we are creating all the way out towards our wheat farm area, which is kind of in that direction. There's the battle arena. I said I was going to extend the path through the jungle. The jungle area continues over in this direction a little way, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to bend this path around in different... It wasn't just going to be a straight directional path. And even coming through this mountain here, you can see there's a mountain above us. Rather than just try and have a path navigator on the surface, we're going to tunnel our way through here, and I think this is a nice look for this kind of tunnel design. So I'm not going to bore you with all the details. You can see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's making use of these kind of flatter areas, which actually used to be little ponds. This is an older kind of biome. There were ponds here. There was another pond on the other side. So I've tried to smooth out areas by just filling in wherever we had the ponds. So you can see that that's the ground down there. So this all used to be full of water. And I think this is a nice look for making little flat spots for the path along different ways. We could build a house or something here. Few options for us, but I think this is a nice way to construct a path through a jungle. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys this little progress, but now on to the actual episode. So I thought to kick things off, we'll do something a little bit fun. Who recognises this build? We're in our nether hub transition room is down beneath us. But I have this thing over here. Does anyone remember me building this? If you remember me building this, you've been a very long time viewer. So thanks for sticking around, but if you've never seen this before, what we have underneath is an abandoned rail network. So this is the original track design that took us out to new lands in the nether. And this is where we go out towards our wither skeleton farming area. And we have this more modern track that's now replaced this one. So we've kind of abandoned this one, we never used it. I did mention quite a long time ago it'd be pretty cool to make this actually functional though, and have it as an alternative, I guess a more scary alternative to using this actual track, the more modern track beneath it. Because with this design we can have mobs that can spawn right up next to the track. We can certainly have some flowing lava nearby. We can have quite a few mysterious things can happen along this track if we make this in use again. So that might be a bit of fun. Let's start off by doing that. We do have to make some modifications though to this original track design because we now have obstacles in the way. So this is the track that's underneath us merging up and occupying this space. So we do have to make a few modifications, but I'm going to try and keep this, let's keep the nostalgia. Let's try and keep this track in the original form as much as we can, but let's add some interesting dynamics along the way. So I'm going to grab some materials and then we'll get started. So first things first, we need to think about how we're going to get onto this track design. It is above us, and I think we should incorporate it into this kind of area. This is where we can press the button, jump into a cart and head out on the more modern track. But let's try and do something over here. We've got this area that I think we could put some kind of docking or boarding station. Now from memory though, get out of here buddy, there's not a lot of room behind here. I think there's lava right next to, or an opening for lava right near here. So let's just dig through and see how much room we have to play with. Okay, so we can't go down too far. And okay, I think this is going to work there. We've got enough room here probably to do something. So how could we make this work? There's not really a lot of redstone over this side, so we can probably put a track along here, or maybe even make an old doorway there or something like that. So I'm going to think about this a little bit, but we'll probably have a track that will start here, then bring us up towards that surface area, which is right above us, and then we'll join up with that main track. So rather than go with something too complicated here, I think we'll go with a pretty simple design for some kind of minecart loading system. We won't do a doorway, we won't do a track or a rail system just like here. We'll have it concealed, we'll have the minecart sitting on one block. So we'll have an upwards facing dropper going into an upwards facing dispenser. And what we'll do is we'll dispense a minecart on top of this rail. That could look pretty interesting. Let's just put down a block here, and just so we can have a rail coming across. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have the rail come down. In fact, how far down do we have to go? Probably, let's make it go out here even. Let's live dangerously. And this should stop us in case we get this thing wrong. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a detector rail here, which will go into just a regular rail. We could put a powered rail here. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's put a powered rail here. Just give us a boost when we come over this detector rail. And then this can go on in its merry way. We'll probably have this track now go upwards and then join up the top of this tunnel area to connect up with the main path. But this is what it's going to look like. We can get rid of this rail now. And the plan will be, let's just do this. Let's remove that. Let's put in 2 minecarts. In fact, let's not put in 2. Let's just grab 1. So there's going to be 1 loaded in the system. So the plan will always be to have a minecart either in the dropper or in the dispenser. So we can just put in some hoppers to funnel in some minecarts into there. And then what we'll do is we'll jump in the cart. We'll be able to head on our way. And as we head off, another minecart will get loaded into the system. So you can see, if I can do this without falling into the lava, another minecart is preloaded, ready for us to jump in. So let's get that out of the way. And I think that could be pretty cool because I want this track to be ready to go either if I take this old path out in this direction and then return on this new one, or vice versa. So we'll have this always loaded, and then if we do take this old track backwards, so we're coming back in this direction, I'll have basically a process to maybe run a minecart into a cactus and then move it through the hoppers into this dropper. So I think that will work well for us. And to make this a little bit more concealed, what you can easily do, let's grab ourselves these stairs. If you don't know this trick, so when you're in survival, you will take damage if you go through a full block, but if you have a non-full block, so it's there in this instance, which is upside down, let's grab that, head on around here, not fall into lava, then come up again. You'll see this is nicely concealed. Then we can grab our minecart, and you can see this is going to look quite nice. In fact, we can even show, I could even have that all sealed up, so it's going to look like something is there. There's a minecart that's kind of half on its side. I think this is going to be a nice representation of this old track. Looks like a broken minecart just sitting there. And then what you can do is you can just jump on in, and then you can travel on through. Oh, we did take a small amount of damage, but that's not too bad. I think if I replace this full block and maybe even this one with an upside down stair, then we should be fine. We won't take any damage. So let's go for a ride. We come down through on that minecart little contraption back there. We head on up through this little tunnel system, and then we magically appear right in this area. So this is where we have this pumpkin looking thing on the other side. I'm going to replicate the same on this side. Marked out the main frame for that. So let's just jump up here and... Whoa! Look at that. Right between the eyes. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm going to replicate this design on the other side here. How you going, little buddy? And what I'm going to do is allow this to go backwards as well. So let's just jump in this cart and assume we're coming backwards from this direction. So we're going to go down the same track layout. And what's going to happen is the cart's going to run into a cactus and then go into a hopper system, which is going to go into that lower dropper. And that will have this area all ready to go. And you can see there's already a minecart waiting for us here. You notice that I didn't take any damage as well when I went on through with the minecart, and I found the trick for that. I was actually hitting my head on the upper block as well, so I've gone for an upside down stair here, and the 2 blocks above, so there's no way we can hit our head. These will act like transparent blocks for the player, so you can just ride on through and not take any damage. I also put in this little nifty trick, so this depends on the north, south, east, west rules of the rails. Depending on which way you're facing in your world, you can do this trick. So as the minecart comes down, it's actually going to go off to the left. So time for another progress update. I've made a whole lot of changes, so let's jump into the cart and go for a little ride. We'll come on down, bend around. You can see this area I've done up a little bit, still needs to grow the nether wart. This area comes through quite nice. Let's see if... Oh, sorry buddy, almost swung at you. Now you can see I've worked on this design, just trying to replicate the other side. I did make a small number of modifications, just using some stairs. Also gave this guy a nose. I don't know, small details. But down here, let's go take a look, because this is interesting. So when we go backwards, I changed this system so there's an easy way to get out, or a more elegant way to get out of here. You can see we magically have this little opening that appears. And the way I achieved that is by using one of these activator rails, and you can see it's always powered here at the moment. So when we're coming back from this direction, we'll always get ejected. And because I've got a slab down there, it's going to actually put us over here. So it's always going to open this up, and I think that's pretty cool. Nice way to open and make this area look a little bit nicer. And the minecart will still go down into this cactus and then reload the system. So that works quite well. But the way that I managed to get around here, so when I come into this system, and I don't actually get ejected, because this gets turned off temporarily. So that's why I've got this detector rail that goes into a torch that's underneath here, basically. Now let's just go up this way, because there is a small number of details we have to now think about. Because as the cart comes along here, we're going to run into this area that we had mentioned earlier. So we do have some choices. We could perhaps make the cart go straight up here and follow on top of this other lower path, or we create a new little path. I'm not sure what we'll do just yet. But at the top of this area, we have this little side section. So I think what I'll actually do is have a minecart come along this area, so along this actual, I guess, this little fort track area. Hey, got another one of these ghasts that's trying to kill me. Damn you guys, always so vicious. Let's see if we can see him. He's hiding down here somewhere. Oh, he's gonna peek his head out. And I totally missed. I totally missed again. And again, oh my goodness, this is bad. Alright, he's gonna stick out over the... Oh my goodness. This is maybe the worst attempt at trying to kill one of these guys. There we go. Not going to destroy my cake. No, all good. So I've decided to incorporate this rail line into the actual fortress walkways here. So just connect this around, and then we can join up over here. It should work for us quite nicely. And so this is going to come along here, then turn to the right, go back down, then pop out just down here. And at this height level, what we can do is run along the side here, which is kind of running parallel to this, and then we just need to hook a right, and there is a nice little walkway just here where we can go down, and then we'll basically go up through the netherrack and then join this old rickety track along there. So I think that could be a nice way to join that. And what we could also do is perhaps an alternate route on the way back, so use the north, south, east rules again, so something like this, where we could have a cart choose a different direction based on the way that you're traveling, and then we could incorporate this old original track design, maybe portions of it anyway, because that's it over there, that's a bit of it. I haven't ridden that for a long time, so why don't we give that a go? I don't even know if I can follow along this path with a minecart anymore. It could be blocked, so let's jump down into here and try it out. Wow, this is really old school. I haven't been along here for a long time. What's over here? Okay, this is the new path above us now. Alright, so let's just see how far we can go. Curious to see, does this connect all the way up, or did I block it? Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot. I have to push this button to continue on. Wow, this is very old track design here. Yeah, so this area is still like that. Let's see if we can navigate up through here. We can actually, okay. Oh, that's not so bad actually. We can get through, looks like. Is this connected to anything? I don't think so. Alright. Well, actually, this isn't going to be too bad actually. So what we'll do is we'll just have the track somehow connect up through here maybe. And then we'll connect to the main line along here. So I'm moving on to connecting up all these rail networks now. So this is going to be the first transition room. See, we're going to go over a detector rail. This is going to go into a bit of redstone and then toggle this minecart track. It's either going to be this way or turn it this way. There'll be some kind of randomizer to figure that out. And I think this would be a nice way to add a bit of variation into this path. We're going to have a track that goes out this way and then a track that goes up above. And what we could do with a track that goes off to the side here is we could run this along the outside area of the nether and then join up with this very old track that we have over this way, which I have now updated into be a little bit more of a modern look and feel, but it's the same room. I did also remove the little tower thing above it, didn't really need it. But this is one of these transition rooms which takes us into this area. I added a ceiling just to keep it a little bit more condensed in here, make it look a little bit claustrophobic. And then as you come on down into this area, I also updated this just to have a little bit more of a modern look, but I wanted to keep it simple, and I think this is quite nice. Everything else here is the same, so this takes us up into that transition area to connect up to the main line. So what we could also do, I was thinking about when I add in these kind of rail switch designs, we could have quite a few of these throughout the nether, and that could really optimize, or not optimize, but could randomize rather, the different options you have when you're traveling by minecart along this old track. So if you're coming along this way, so I have here a little randomizer thing here, so as a minecart goes over this detector rail, it's going to power a dropper, which has a stackable item and non-stackable item in here. You can add more of these if you want to make it more random. Basically there's a 1 in 3 chance at the moment that this particular item will go into this dropper, which will be detected by a comparator, and that will power at least 2 blocks, which will power the repeater, power all this stuff, and then turn on and off this torch. But if it's going to be one of these other blocks that gets chosen, it's only going to go 1 block in terms of powering this redstone, so that won't activate this other connected redstone. So that's one way to optimize, like I said it again, randomize rather, this rail network. So we're going to have a switcher here. This will take us down this track. Whoa, how you going, buddy? So this is what I wanted. A bit of danger when you take this older kind of track design through the exposed fortress walkways here. So I've extended this track here along this pathway. Then we've got another, I'm going to have another randomizer thing down there. Also like this, look, I don't know if I've pointed this out previously, but I do have some of these floating fireballs around, particularly this part of my nether. Oh, that was a dart arrow. And can I get that guy? No. I was going to say, oh, let's just assume I got him. Whoa, oh really? I didn't get that guy? Okay, got him that time. But he got me, so it's even. So yes, I do have a few of these floating around in my nether. It's part of being just having a really old world. I'm pretty sure that bug has been fixed in the game for a while, but because my world was so old, I do have a few of these flying around the place still. And yeah, I think it adds to the effect of cruising around on this older kind of rail design. So this is the track. Comes along here, then we could probably go up through this netherrack and then connect up to the main line. I think we have another randomizer here. Where you going, buddy? You could go along here, and then I'm thinking of having some kind of jump pad here with a rail and a minecart to basically jump the player. Whoops, jump the player onto this track. I think that could be pretty cool. And I'm also experimenting here. Can I get a minecart to jump this gap, land over here, then maybe connect up this way? So these are all the little design considerations I'm just experimenting with. I do want to make this track a little bit more unique, and yeah, just when we got baddies like this around the place, then it's going to add to the... Whoa! That was weird. I kind of half flew just then. So yeah, it's going to add to the, I guess the danger factor. Alright, let's see if we can clear this jump. Haven't tried this yet, but I think it'll be close. I might have made this far enough. How close did we get? That's probably close enough. I could probably put a rail right here, and then just move it to the middle and join up along here. So that could work for us. Something different. Might need to put some kind of nether brick blocks around this so it doesn't stand out too much, having that soul sand. That soul sand there helps you glide a little bit more when you jump off, but minecarts are so dodgy in this game. May not work every time, but we'll leave it in anyway. Keeps things interesting, and you're going to keep interrupting me, aren't you? Alright, let's see if we can take you out. I think I got you. Now this area here, this is where we could do something interesting. I think there's a bit of room. Let's look over this side. Okay, it's both pretty dangerous, but there is a bit of room underneath this, so I think this is pretty much solid nether brick here. So we could put in some redstone and then build some kind of minecart jumper right here, and then see if we can clear this gap, and then somehow miraculously land right here. Now I'm pretty sure, do I have some rails? I do have a rail on me. If I put a rail here, which way is the minecart going to go? I think it's going to go off to the left. Okay, it goes off to the right. Alright, fair enough. So what we could do is then just bend the track around. If I have a bend here, if we're coming from this direction, then that's fine. It's going to continue in this direction as well. So let's look at our options here for some kind of minecart launcher. And here is some of those options. So this is my minecart test world here. You've seen me in this world a few times, I think, in the past. This is where I come and experiment with different things for particularly the jumping mechanics of minecarts. These things are so finicky. I mean, in principle it's quite simple, but they don't scale well, which is what we've tried over here. And the timing of these things can be hit and miss, and sometimes there's a lot of visual glitches with the minecarts as well. But anyway, I think we'll try and make something work. Now, that jump area that we had to clear wasn't very tall. In fact, this area here is probably almost double than what we need to actually jump. So maybe this design's not going to be okay. Probably don't have a lot of room for using tripwire. What's this design like? It's probably about the same height that we need to clear. Looks half decent. We could do a design like that one. Or what's this one like again? I think this one was always my favorite, but it's not always that reliable either. And what I do like about this one is the least amount of space you need over here. So here you can see we need a larger area for the jumping mechanism. And this one's here is actually not too bad either. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if I've got this all working now. So we're going to clear this gap hopefully. Yep, first part done. Then jump up to this top section. Okay, that worked for us. Now we don't have enough speed currently to come down and then go backwards on this track, but that's okay. We can easily sort that out. But if we assume we do come down, let's just make sure we can continue on here. Oh, come on, buddy, you're in my way. I don't have a sweeping edge, so this should be fine. Uh-oh. I knew that. Came and sabotaged me. But you can't cross the rail, haha! Uh-oh. You're sending in the big guns, though. Where is this guy? I can't see him. Must be nearby if he just destroyed my rails just here. Okay, this is a little terrifying. You can't reach me. Anyway, let's just assume this is all working. I've got it up and running now, and we just need to basically polish this off this area. Let's run along parallel to this thing. So come along here. Alright, so here's the track. We could make this continue on and basically connect up these spots. I wish there was a simple way to make it look like there is a gap there, but currently in the game I don't know how to do that, so we might have to keep that. But with spots like here, or maybe continuing on here, what we could do is actually have a spot where you can fall down. So make the track look like it is going to work. You've come a fair bit of distance here, and maybe somewhere around here you actually do fall through. So that is something I am going to think about. I did add some more decoration out here, just planting some netherrack. Netherrack? Yes, this is baby netherrack. No, netherwort. So yes, I'm going to try and make a section here where you do fall down, and then basically come along in through the walls, maybe connect up to this main line, maybe not. I do want to have this kind of independent of this track though, so you could either take this track all the way down here, or this other one. So yes, a little bit more work to be done. So I've spent a lot more time working on this rail system here, and there's a lot to show. So let's speed through this. So we've seen this before. This is where we jump up onto this track up here, and you can see there's another track that goes off in this direction. We'll come back to that one. But let's do this first. What I'll do is I'll walk it. Probably easier to walk and run and explain rather than cruise around in a minecart. So you can see we jump up onto this main line. I also switched out all the torches, or these redstone torches. Just I think it adds to the nicer look for this area. Did add in a few extra iron bars as well. But I have joined up some of these gaps, so you can ride a minecart along here now. But then you get to this area, and you might be wondering what on earth. There is a track that just goes off. There's lava beneath us. What is going to happen? Now, all things going to plan, the minecart will land down there. So that is the plan. So let's just jump down and try not die or fall in that lava. So now that we're down here, the plan is that minecart will land on this track, take us down here, and then this will come along this area. Now there's also a track out here, don't worry about that. Now for this area, do I have a minecart on me? I do have a minecart, okay. Let's cruise on this direction, just to make it a little bit faster. So this is going to take us up to this area, along this track. So we're just going through a fortress area here. Whoop. Very close. And then that takes us to this area. Now we are still right near this old track. This one still has many holes in it, but I wanted to leave this area. I really like how I don't want to have the minecart go all the way along there. So I'm going to leave parts of these broken. So we need an alternate route. So this is going to be that alternate route. So I've just built this path across here. This is where we have this natural kind of walkway here from the fortress that's going to be joined up over here. So we do have another fortress entrance, and we can just go up here, and then this will connect up to the final position of this rickety old track design. So that's going to be the complete circuit for one of the paths. You can see there were other paths that I showed. So how do we best do this? Let's just run this way and not get attacked by a ghast. So, okay, so this area here is going to have holes still, so that's fine. There is a track down here somewhere. Let's see if we can see it. I did also switch this out at some stage. Not sure when I did that, but that is a little bit different. I did have different block combinations in there. So this is where you break off this rail. So that's pretty cool. And this path is still going to be very dangerous. You can see there's plenty of mobs that do spawn around here, so you have to keep your wits about you when you cruise around this area. So, okay, let's look at some other paths though. So we do have a random switcheroo thing here that I've built, the same as the other one. And that's going to take us in this direction. So let's go into a minecart out this way. And you can see this one's going to not go up through the netherrack as I originally planned. This is going to take a different route. So it's going to come along this way, dodge the blazes on the way, and we're going to fall. So it is a little bit terrifying, but you can make it down. Then you're going to come along lava level here. You are going to get a little bit of flame action right there, so that's okay. And then this is going to connect up to this path. So these are all the little details that I wanted to add and to try and make different ways, different paths that you get around this area. And I think we're okay over there. Yep, there's no falling through. So it is more or less complete. I think I need to just add in some finishing touches. Now to go backwards, because you might have seen there was this strange thing with a track up here. So this is just for symmetry. But the track is actually going to go off. In fact, let's just run this bit. Pick that up. So the minecarts can go this way. So coming out from this area, you can follow this around. I've kind of run out of rail here, so this is the last rail that I have. I have to craft some more. So the idea is that the track will keep going along in this direction, and then it's actually going to come around through here. It's funny how all these are kind of interconnected, so I can do some interesting things with them. They will come down this way. Need to put in powered rail there. Might be wondering, where on earth are we? Don't worry, we're not far away now. This will come up onto this track, and then this track's going to connect up right here. So this is kind of where we all started. Now this particular minecart will go straight when we're coming from this direction because the curve is going out this way, so minecart will go straight over this. As we come to this spot, the minecart's also going to keep going straight, and that will take us all the way back to the starting position. So to finish this area off, I'm going to create a little montage of the decoration process. So enjoy! And just like that, we have one rejuvenated old rail network. So we have a few interesting things to see along the way, and a few surprises, a few mobs nearby that can attack you, but I think that adds to the dynamic of using this old rail network rather than the modern one. So you've got a choice, and you know what, this one could be a bit of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Sorry it took so long to come out. Don't worry, the next one won't take as long. It's going to be right around the corner. And yeah, a few interesting things in the works. If you celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, stay awesome. Cheers.